Hello everyone, this is Mikey Garcia.
Yo, it's your boy, the odd guy himself, Malik King Scott.
Hi, I'm Charlie Edward.
This is Fast Eddie Chambers, and you're listening to the BoxHard podcast with my main man, Joey Coastman.
Hello everybody and welcome to the third episode of the BoxHard podcast. I'm your host, Joey Coastman. I'm joined today by Ayaz. Ayaz, how you doing?
I'm good, Joey. How are you?
Very good, very good. Today's a very exciting show, guys. We've got two guests on the show. We've got Big Ovill McKenzie. He talks everything about his experience and his fight last Friday with Victor Emilio Ramirez, the IBF world champion at cruiserweight. We also speak to Gary Spike O'Sullivan, who's fighting on Saturday night. He tells us everything about his fight, Chris Eubank Jr., and so on. Okay, this show is called Preview and Review, where we preview the forthcoming weekend of fights and we review the previous weekend of fights. So last Friday, we're not really going to go into too much detail here, but there was a fight between IBF cruiserweight champion Victor Ramirez, and he defended or tried to defend his title against Ovill McKenzie. They fought to a split draw after 12 rounds. I personally thought Ovill nicked it. We're not going to go too much in detail here because Ovill's coming on the show and he's going to tell us everything about his experiences. Okay, moving on to Saturday night. Tommy Langford moved to 14-0 in his fight for the WBO Intercontinental Middleweight title. He beat Christian Fabian Rios by unanimous decision after 10 rounds. Moving down that card, Josh Lever moves to 8-0 with a fourth round knockout over Michael Mooney. Paul Butler was also on that card as he moved to 19-1 with a first round stoppage by a body shot over Hector Rolando Guzman. Also, Andrew Robinson, who we saw in a clash with Frank Buglioni, I think earlier this year, he moved to 16-1 with a win over journeyman Davidas Sajajuka. I'm not going to try to pretend for a minute that I've got that pronunciation right. Also, moving over to the StubHub Center, Carson, California, Victor Postel. Obviously, he fought Lucas Martin Matisse. A lot of people underestimated Postel. Postel with a 27-0 record going into that fight. A lot of people thought Matisse would probably stop him. And, well, it happened the other way round. In the 10th round, Victor Postel stopped Matisse. Or you could say Matisse stopped himself. Matisse, I thought, was probably cruising to a points win. A lot of good punches, probably the best punches landed in the fight were from Matisse. But Postel managed to get Matisse to, I'm not going to say quit, but I saw an interview where Matisse said he heard something in his eye snap and he didn't want to get up from his knees. Antonio Orozco moved to 23-0. After 10 rounds, unanimous decision win over Humberto Soto. Also, a lot of people forgot about this fight. In Cincinnati, Ohio, Adrian Broner stepped in to see if he could be a 4-weight world champion. And yes, indeed, he now is. A 12th round TKO victory over Alak Verdiev. So now Broner is a 4-weight world champion. So fantastic personal achievement for him. Okay, it's time for our first guest. We have Mr. Ovill McKenzie. Okay, born in Jamaica. Last weekend he was in Argentina. Today I'm guessing he's somewhere in Derby, but right now he's on our show. It's, of course, Mr. Ovill McKenzie. Welcome to the show, Ovill.
Yes, brother, man. I'm in London, mate. I'm still in London.
Are you in London?
Yeah, taking over a bit because I'm going to do some interview in London. I want to meet Steve Barnes tomorrow.
You meeting Steve tomorrow?
Yeah. So I have to stay in London for a bit before I go up to Derby. I'm going to Derby in the weekend.
I know you're somewhat of a gym rat these days. You haven't been back in the Peacock already, have you?
I have. I've been from Tuesday. I've been in the gym from Tuesday. I've been in the gym 2 days now.
Brilliant. Good to hear. Ovill, obviously, I was one of the many people who stayed up last Friday to watch the fight. Victor Emilio Ramirez. I didn't know much about him before the fight, but I mean, I watched it. I thought you boxed very cleverly, and I've never seen you box very. You seem to be more controlled than I've ever seen you. Did you think you won the fight at the end?
I know I win it, brother. He told me twice I won it as well. I know I win the fight, and that's why I was so a bit excited because he told me twice in my ears that I won it. He said, "You won, mate." He told me I won it twice.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I saw that you said that he'd admitted that you'd won the fight.
Twice he told me.
Was that in the ring?
Yeah, after the fight, at the end of the fight, they will come over and hug up each other. He tell me there, and then hug the second time. He tell me again. He tell me twice when we hug up. This twice he told me.
A lot of people thought that you'd never get, even if you won quite clearly, it would be hard to get the decision. What do you think of the draw? Do you think it was poorly judged, or do you think it was pretty? It was because it was a close-ish fight. I mean, I gave it to you by 2 rounds personally.
I think it was poorly judged. I think the referee them maybe they were just maybe scared for their life. Or I don't know what something. I don't know, brother. But it was poorly judged, mate. I win it by far, mate.
Yeah.
Or boxing.
I mean, how do you feel now? I mean, obviously you was happy when you got the shot. You seemed happy after the fight, to be honest, and you didn't look too. I mean, I don't want to say you didn't look disappointed. You looked happy with what you did.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm a happy guy because I just know in my heart say I beat him. That's why I was smiling about it. I'm happy. I do my best, and I know I beat him, and I know they robbed me and give me a draw. And to tell you the truth, a draw is better than they said he won it. You know what I mean? So in Argentina to get a draw is a perfect. It's a good achievement, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and at least we can get a rematch here back home in England, and maybe a next third one over in Germany or somewhere, anywhere, but just to make it fair, So I don't mind say we can get 2 more fights out of this.
Yeah. Because I heard Frank Warren was trying to appeal for a rematch.
Yeah, he's trying his best. He's trying because the world know I want it, brother. I wouldn't lie to myself as well. I want it, make clear.
Yeah, no, it was pretty clear for me. I mean, it's been 11 years since you last fought out of the UK. Outside of the UK, was you a bit nervous going over there, or was you just completely?
To tell you the truth, you know what? I'll be honest to you. I was alright because it was 2 hours away from the hotel, and when we was going there, even the man who was driving the bus, he was lost because he never went to this place before. It was like in the jungle, mate. It was far, brother. If I wasn't from Jamaica, I would be shitting myself, brother. I'm telling you straight. When I go there, I loved it. I look on it, I say, "Fuck, it's like Jamaica." I get love. It was outdoor. And you have dog, I run up and down, and you have wild dog around the venue running up and down. It was like Chilla Melilla, when brother, I can tell you, it was 40 years ago. 40 years and one day when they have that Chilla Melilla, when they said the lion and the tiger, and when them said the crocodile was passing over when everybody was fighting, Muhammad Ali and Joe, I think it's Joe Frazier that was fighting in Africa.
Yes.
And it was the same way. It was our one was 40 years and 2 days. It was October the 1st, Chilla Monday, and it was October the 2nd. I'm fighting. So it was something like that, brother. I think I do a bit of history down there, man. History, and go down there and do a lot upset, mate. I beat them. I win that fight clearly, mate. Clearly, dog, my brother them there. I have 4 guys come from Derby, and my brother, when I get in the ring and saw them, they were shitting themselves. They sit down there, like, when the teacher, when the misbehaved at school, and the teacher said, "You sit down there, boys, and don't move." I get in the ring and see them, so I go over to them and tell them, said we have space in the bus to come along, and it looked like they was telling me, say, "Oh, leave me alone, don't talk to me." They was scared. And right afterward, we have it on video where they're saying, "Oh, you British wonkers." He's cussing at them, man. It was horrible at some time, man. But I was alright. But I sorry for my mate them. They even go without telling me. They went up. They did have taxi out the venue waiting for them for 2.5 hours. They have to have the taxi man waiting for them and pay the taxi man as well. For wait for them. So it was alright. It was into a forest, mate. These people was live by themselves into the jungle where Ramiro come from. So I think the MP, it was the MP guy that saved us, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you, because he was sponsoring Ramirez, and you have a lot of police there with armed police, brother, and police dogs, and they have the machine guns and riot, brother. It was hard. It wasn't like I was in Jamaica, down Tivoli Garden, brother. I'm telling you, it was something else, but like some people who never see such thing before, they would have been scared, mate. I'm telling you.
Yeah, because I know that when Martin Murray fought over there, obviously against Martinez, when he was walking to the ring, I think someone spat at him. People were throwing bottles.
Yeah, there was, and only reason why this don't happen to me, brother, I'm telling you, it's only because of the politician. Because they have it under control. A lot of police was there with guns and everything, man. Loads of police and soldier was there with guns and armed police, brother. So that what, and he's trying to look the vote, so he never want any trouble to happen. So they have to behave themselves, brother. That's why. If it wasn't for them, brother, we would have been string up and hang up alive, I think, mate. I'm telling you. I ain't going back there, mate. They need to come to England and I will show them how to treat people nice. I'm telling you.
I just want to say, there's a lot of people in boxing whose record doesn't suggest how good they are. I think that is you. That's the definition of your record. To be honest, it doesn't show how good you are.
But this is with me, brother. Record for me is not a problem. Like, this is what people need to look at. See, I win this clear and fair, and they give me a draw. The same with some of my previous fight, brother. I take fight one day and I win the fight, but they give it to the next opponent. You know what I mean? So these things like this don't bother me. And sometimes I know if sometime I lost fight and the record if I was fit and training ready, that guy, the opponent who beat me, could have never beat me, man. I gotta take fight 2 days notice, sometimes I'm not training and I need the money, I will never a journeyman. People say, you are here in the community to say I'm a journeyman. I've never been a journeyman in my life, man. Never. It's because, not because I have that record, I'm a journeyman. I'm not a journeyman.
Not at all.
I always want to win fights. I always want to be a world champion.
Yeah, no, not at all. What was I also going to say? I know that you did a little bit of sparring in Cuba earlier this year.
Yeah, I was over there with him there.
I know you've sparred a lot of guys worldwide. Who's the toughest sort of guys you've sparred with, Ovill?
Toughest. Oh. Well, that's why I don't know. Oh, I think this is Arthur Bettigan, man. Arthur Bettigan is from Canada.
Is this Arthur Beterbiev?
Yes, that's the one.
Right. Yes.
I'm telling you, he's a right firecracker, man. He's programmed to kill, man.
He's got hands of stone, this guy.
He programmed to kill. I like him, man. He's the one. He's the hardest part I ever have, my brother, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he's a big prospect for the future.
Big prospect for the future. I ain't gonna lie to you, that, man. You gotta look out for him, man. He's dangerous, man.
Yes, and also, obviously, you've got a few losses on the record. I just want to ask one question: if there was one loss that you could avenge, which loss would it be? Who would you like to come back, rematch, and beat? If it could be anyone that you've got a blemish to.
To tell you the truth, the Bellew, man. I like that third Bellew fight. That would be a good fight. You know what I mean? It'd be a good fight in the cruiserweight division, and the next one, and even Enzel as well, man. I want to knock him. He stopped me. He's a good, that second fight with me, Enzel, is a good fight, but I like that fight. I learned a lot from it, and he made me the person I am. But I would like to revenge that as well,
Yeah.
But Bellew fight, I think Bellew fight in front, my brother.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that like to see me done that, and I know I can do it, brother. I know I can do it.
Yeah.
I know I can do it.
Ovill, I just want to get what's your top, if you can, your top 5 pound for pound in today's boxing?
No, I never, brother. To be honest with you, I don't watch boxing like that. I don't study it like that. Don't think I'm not into it like that. To tell the truth,
Yeah, no,
I'm
that's
not.
no problem. There's a lot of boxers who are fans of the sport and some who just do the sport. So that's fair enough.
I am. Yeah, the thing is, brother, because I know what's going on with the sports right now. It's politics, and it's not the same like before. Like when Agla and them man that used to fight and Mike Tyson. It's not the same, brother. It's just a business going on at the minute. So I'm not really a big fan of the boxing, brother. They're killing the promoter, them killing the boxing because that's who can sell ticket and they pick and choose who they want to fight who, and it's not the same. It's not excited, It's just they're killing the sports, brother. It's not the same. I don't like it anymore. But I'll be honest with you, before it used to be nice back in the days. Man used to fight. Man used to just fight and never used to be who can sell who tickets and all that. Come on.
It is a business these days. Ovill, I'm going to pass you over to my partner on the show. He's got a couple of questions for you.
You know what, mate?
Ayaz, come in, mate.
Okay. Hello, Ovill. How are you doing first?
I'm fine, mate. Good.
Okay.
Good. You?
Yeah, I'm not too bad actually.
Go ahead, bro. Say.
How did it feel to be able to showcase your boxing and hold your own at a world level?
Well, it is great, It's great to put that performance at a time where I need it, and I always perform like that in the gym. I spar like that with people. I just sometimes when my head take me and I say I want to end this round in a certain round, I want to do it myself, and I want to prove something to myself. Say I want to do it in this round. I want to do, But if I want to box, if I want to box, I can box, but I can't spar like that, So I know I can do it. So it's just good to do it at a big stage like that, man. That's just everything just work. I don't. Everything just come out as natural. I think it's natural. I don't know, brother. Happy.
Yeah, Ovill, just any sort of message for any of the supporters who stayed up on Friday, who came out to Argentina, or who just follow you in general?
Well, I just need the fans to know. I said, I go to Argentina and do the business and represent and that's all I want to do. I want to represent the country and as a sportsman. I'm a sportsman. I'm here to represent, and I'm not a politician. I'm a sportsman. And I'm here to represent the country, and that's all I want to do. Show people say I can represent this country to the highest. But with there, as I said, we come back to England, that we want to support. We need the support. We have to get the support in.
Yeah, Ovill, I think you're a fantastic ambassador for the support, for the sport. Sorry. Obviously, a lot of people do support you a lot more than you probably expected on the night we're staying up to watch it. Ovill, listen, I think that you don't be too hard on yourself. I think that you won the fight, and if there is a rematch, you get a proper training camp. You are gonna stop this guy. Do you know what I mean? You've got it, and I wish you all the best, Ovill. You done fantastic last week. I know that your future's bright, and you'll go on to big things. I'm sure of that.
Cheers, brother. Thank you, mate. Respect.
Ovill, thank you for coming on the show. Take good care.
Thank you, Ovill.
All right, mate. Cheers, mate. No worries. Safe.
We're now at the preview part of the show where we talk about the forthcoming weekend of boxing. We're going to start with the English card, of course. Terry Flanagan making his first defence of his WBO World Lightweight title against Diego Magdaleno. Ayaz, what are your thoughts on that fight?
I think it's a good fight. It's his first defence. I want to see how this fight goes.
Yeah, obviously Terry Flanagan, he won his world title in strange fashion, to say the least. I think this is going to be a very good fight. Obviously, Terry Flanagan unbeaten in 28 fights. Diego Magdaleno, 28-1 record. Liam Smith, I'm very, very pleased about this. Can Liam Smith be the first out of all the Smith brothers to capture a world title? He's fighting John Thompson. Liam Smith, obviously 20 wins, 0 losses, and the one draw. He fights for the vacant WBO World Super Welterweight title, also known as the light middleweight title. He fights John Thompson with a record of 17-1. I really hope that Liam Smith can do this, because we've seen the Smith brothers in world title fights. Well, I say we've seen the Smith brothers in world title fights, but we've seen Paul Smith. I think he's had 3 shots at the title now. He's come up short each time, but hopefully Liam can do it, because Liam's a fantastic fighter. Obviously, he's the only one of the Smith brothers to be signed with Frank Warren, whereas Paul, Callum, and of course Stephen are with Eddie Hearn. How fantastic would it be for Liam Smith to capture a world title on Saturday night, Ayaz?
I think it'd be amazing if Liam Smith wins it. Obviously, his brothers, for example, Paul Smith, he's had 2 fights against Arthur Abraham, lost them both on points, and he had a fight with Andre Wood, and obviously lost to Andre Wood. And to be honest, if Liam Smith wins this, it will be a miracle for the Smith family.
Yeah, I think he's going to win. I believe he can win, and hopefully he can do it all on the night. Moving down that card, we've got Luke Blackledge. 19 wins, 2 losses and 2 draws. He fights Lee Markham. A lot of people know Lee Markham for his massive, well, it was a dog fight, to be honest, against Frank Buglioni earlier this year. Obviously, they was going to have a rematch, and Frank Buglioni managed to fight for a world title. So Lee Markham will be very confident going into this. This is also for the Commonwealth Super Middleweight title. Down the card, we've got Tom Stalker. Tom Stalker fights Craig Evans. That's for the vacant WBO European lightweight title. Moving down the card, Jack Catterall. He's attempting to move to 13-0. He fights a guy with the same record as him, 12-0, who is also trying to get to 13-0. So that should be an interesting contest. All the best to Jack Catterall again. Big fans of him on the BoxHard podcast. Also, there's a Matchroom Fight Pass show on Saturday as well. They're sort of gone under the radar, not had much exposure, but we will be speaking to one person who's fighting on that bill next week. I'm not going to say any names as of yet. John Ryder fights, he tops that bill. He fights against Adam Jones. John Ryder, 20 wins, 2 losses, fights Adam Jones, 5 wins, 10 losses and 4 draws. Also on that card, Johnny Coyle, he fights AJ Fazy. That's for the vacant WBC Youth Intercontinental Super Lightweight title. Said all that without taking a breath. Ben Hall is on the card against Aston Jolly. Reece Belletti gets out again. Adam Salmon gets out again. Mickey O'Rourke's on the card. Craig Richards. Ted Cheeseman. Obviously, we saw his debut recently. Ted Cheeseman's back on the card. Trying to see if he can get his second victory in 2. Jake Ball's on the card. And also Isaac Chamberlain fights on the card as well. Very big prospect for the future, Isaac Chamberlain. He fights a guy who has had somewhere around 14 times as many fights as himself, so that should be interesting. Also, another fight that's gone underneath the radar in Wales this weekend. Enzo Macronelli fights Jiri Svaksina. Again, I'm not too sure about the pronunciation. Enzo Mac, with his record these days, 39-7, fights Jiri Svaksina, 12 wins and 16 losses. Yeah, that's gone under the radar, that card. What do you think Enzo Mac has left Ayaz these days?
I reckon he's got a couple of fights left in him. Isn't there a rumour he's meant to fight Roy Jones Jr.?
Yes, that's a big piece of news. Not too sure. I'm not too sure how much, how solid that is. But yeah, I've heard little whispers about that fight, but we'll see what happens, because obviously I think Roy Jones has got 2 fights scheduled at the moment on BoxRec when I last checked, so I don't know when that's going to be, and obviously Enzo Macronelli's out this Saturday. Also, moving over to Massachusetts, USA, Gary Spike O'Sullivan fights David Toribio. Again, we're not going to go into detail on that. Gary's going to be on the show later to talk to us all about that and much more. Stephen Orman fights on the card. He fights Michael Clark, which should be a good contest too. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get this on UK television, but it will be cracking if we can. And also, there's a very strange card in Venezuela. Get a load of this. Jorge Linares, who obviously stopped our man Kevin Mitchell recently on what card was that on, Ayaz? What was the name of that card?
Rule Britannia, Kell Brook, Frankie Gavin.
Yes, I remember that, yes. Jorge Linares defends his WBC World Lightweight title against Ivan Kano. Jorge Linares 39-3 against Ivan Kano 23-6 with 2 draws. I said it was a crazy card. Down that bill, Sergei Kamitsky, who a lot of people will remember, stopped Frank Buglioni. He also stopped Adam Etches, of course. He fights Alfonso Blanco, who is unbeaten in 11 contests. Sergei Kamitsky, 30 wins, 11 losses and 3 draws. He fights Alfonso Blanco, 11-0. That should be an interesting fight. Sergei Kamitsky really can crack, and if he lands, it could be early doors for Alfonso Blanco. Also, again, the third strange fight of this bill and the last strange fight of this bill, the last one we're going to mention. Alexander Ustinov, 31-1, fights Morris Harris, 26-19 and 3 draws. I'm not saying these are the best fights in the world, but a very strange card. I know that Linares is from Venezuela, so that's fine, but very, very strange to see Kamitsky on the card and Ustinov. Anything to add on that card, Ayaz?
All I want to see is the fights just happened. I want to see, one thing I would love to see is Linares fight Kevin Mitchell again in a rematch. Yeah,
it'd be great to see a rematch. The last thing I wanted to add, there was a piece of news this week. Ayaz, do you want to tell us about the news that we read upon this week?
Is it Martin Murray fighting Arthur Abraham?
Martin Murray fighting Arthur Abraham, that's it. There was a lot of rumours that this could take place when Martin Murray signed for Matchroom, but I wasn't sure if it was going to happen, but I'm pleased it has happened. Obviously, Paul Smith has fought twice for a world title against Arthur Abraham. Arthur Abraham has also fought Carl Froch, so he's had quite a lot of business with Eddie Hearn's fighters, and hopefully this time Martin Murray can take his belt off him.
Yeah, I would love to see. Martin Murray obviously is a very tough fighter. He took on the likes of Golovkin and took Golovkin 11th round, and obviously Martin Murray, for moving up to super middleweight, yeah, it's a very big step up, right? And Arthur Abraham's a very good fighter, so we'd like to see how they both collide.
Martin Murray, of course. I don't think he's been managed and looked after, perhaps as good as he could have been. He's been in a lot of fights, perhaps the wrong fight at the wrong time. He's been in there with, like you said, Golovkin, Martinez, and many other big names. And he is, a lot of people won't agree with me, but he really is one of our best fighters from Britain. He really is one of the best fighters we've got, and I hope he can do it because he deserves to. He's a very, very nice man, genuine good guy for the sport, really nice guy. So best of luck with that, Martin. Okay, it's time for our second guest, Mr. Gary Spike O'Sullivan. Hello, Spike, and welcome to the show. You fight Saturday the 10th in Lowell Memorial Auditorium, Massachusetts.
Yep.
Your opponent pulled out. You've got the new opponent, David Toribio. Do you know much about the guy?
I've seen more clips of him on YouTube. Yeah, he looks like he can punch a bit. But he comes on and I'll take him out.
I think you've just got the one common opponent. You both faced the same guy in Melvin Betancourt.
Yeah, I noticed that, yeah. He knocked him out in 8, I knocked him out in 2.
That's right. That's right. You and this guy both got 21 wins, 14 inside the distance. He's 4 years. He's 4 years your senior, but he's a lot more experienced than some people may think. He's been in there with the likes of Sergio Martinez, James Kirkland, Marco Antonio Rubio. Is there any? I mean, are you confident that you're going to get your 5th stoppage in a row?
I won't go in there looking for the stoppage, but I think when I land shots, I tend to take them out. But I'm looking to get a few rounds under my belt and working on a few things that I've been trying on the gym, you know.
Yeah. No, I know you don't really go into fights looking for the knockout, but you always seem to get it most of the time. Where do you like fighting most, Spike? Do you like fighting Ireland, England, or the States, and why?
I actually really love fighting in all of them. I like fighting in the States. It's my 7th fight now in the States. I love fighting in the UK. I like fighting at home in Ireland. I just love fighting. So put on a show for the fans and entertain people.
Yeah. Okay. There's 3 fights soon to be happening in your division. I wanted to get your predictions on these fights. We perhaps don't see as many unification fights as we should do in boxing, but we've got one in your division, Golovkin versus Lemieux. Who do you see winning this fight, Spike?
I think Golovkin will win it. Lemieux is a bit wild, and Golovkin is more cautious. He's very powerful, and I think he'll knock him out.
Okay. Has Frank Buglioni come over to support you as well?
He's actually sitting right beside me.
Say that again, sorry?
He just arrived.
Oh, he's just arrived?
He's just sitting right beside me here. Yeah, he just arrived off the plane. We just collected him from the airport.
Brilliant.
I'm in the car here. You'll have to excuse all the noise. That's Packy Collins up the front shouting and roaring at the co-pilot of the car. The handbrake have to catch on fire. And I've got Steve Armand here in the car as well. And Conal Thomas, my sponsor. Crazy car, man.
Excellent. Obviously, you was there for Buglioni in his fight, which he come up. I don't want to say he come up short, but it was a close fight. But wow, has he got some cojones, as they say.
Oh yeah, just you're saying. I'm looking at Boxing News and it says on the front of the magazine it says Paul the Steel. I think that sums it up. There's a great form. I thought he proved a lot of things in that fight. He's got a great heart, great determination. Got a good punch as well. He must to knock down the world champion with one punch.
And your fight on Saturday, Spike, will it be televised?
It will be televised on NBC.
NBC. Have you fought on Spike yet?
I don't think I fought in Spike, no.
Because we all want to see. We all want to see Spike on Spike.
Yeah, me too.
Another fight, also I believe to be confirmed now, is Daniel Jacobs against Peter Quillin. Who you got in that fight, Spike?
It'll be an interesting one. That one is hard to call. Very, very hard to call it. I look forward to watching that one.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good fight. Two very good boxers.
Yeah. And a close friend of yours now, Billy Joe Saunders against countryman Andy Lee. I thought I have to leave this best till last. Who have you got in that fight?
That's another one. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I can see Billy Joe Saunders maybe taking the early rounds because Andy Lee is kind of start slow. I think it could be even some cagey like Jim DeGale and Andre Laurel, two good boxers, so-calls. But Andy Lee could knock him out later on if Billy Joe tires like he did against Eubank. It's just a hard one to call. I won't be going. I like to do a bet, but this one I won't be putting the bet on because I just can't go in it.
It's very close. There's a lot of talk. I thought we can't talk to you without having to mention this guy's name. There's a lot of talk about potential bout on the December 12th card against Chris Eubank Jr., also known as English Jr. You've probably got a few other names for him as well. What are the chances? What are the chances of this fight happening?
I think they're very, very strong now. We're very, very, very close to doing a deal, and could be announced pretty soon, I think.
Because obviously we get a lot of, fighters talking back and forth on Twitter, and it never really materialises to anything. But you reckon this fight is something that will happen?
I don't know if it'll actually really and truly happen if you get in the ring, but I think the contracts will be signed. Yeah, I think it'll be announced, and it'll probably be, it'll be out there that the fight's going to happen. But whether it'll turn up on the night, I don't know.
Okay, and Spike, you're a fan of the sport as well as a competitor in the sport.
Absolutely.
What's your top at the moment? Top 5 pound for pound.
Oh my God!
I know that this is a hard question.
It's unbelievable. Well,
any particular order?
Still often would be up there, I suppose. Jesus. I don't know. I can't pick a top 5. I can't do it. Stephen Norman, I think he's the guy that people haven't heard much about, but I think he's going to show a lot of potential to people in the near future. I got starting more for his boxing now, and he's an unbelievable fighter. He's maybe beaten twice. He's beaten by Terry Flanagan and Paul Appleby, but both his grandparents died around those fights, and I think when he fought, he's a phenomenal fighter.
Okay, I've got my partner on the call finally. He's got a couple of questions for you. Ayaz, do you want to come in?
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you, Joey. Hello, Spike. How you doing?
Very good yourself.
I'm not too bad actually. Spike. The thing I want to ask you is, if this fight happens between you and Chris Eubank Jr., what round do you see this happening? What round do you see this go?
What round do I see it going? Is it?
Yes.
I think I'll definitely knock him out anyway, 100%. I don't know what round, but he won't see the final bell.
Okay, yep.
No chance.
Would you consider taking on the likes of Gennady Golovkin in the future?
Absolutely, I'd love it. I'd relish that opportunity. The dream is mine to be ranked as the number 1 middleweight on the planet, and I think he's the man to go through.
Yes, Spike, listen, thank you very, very much for speaking to us so close to your fight. Best of luck Saturday. No doubt you'll probably get your 5th knockout in a row, and hopefully we can speak to you sometime after the fight.
Yeah, without doubt, Joey. It'd be great to speak to you again, and thanks for having me on.
Say hello to the guys for us. Thank you very much, Spike.
I will indeed. Cheers, Joey. God bless.
Okay, everybody, I think that concludes our show. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you listened last week. I hope you're back this week because you listened last week. Please retweet, please follow, please share, please tell your friends to tell their friends. We'll be back next week with another big guest. So please tune in. There'll be a guest every single show. So please, if this is the first time you've listened to the podcast, please recommend it to your friends and please come back next week. Thank you very much.